Good morning, interwebs. It's about 10 till 6. And have I reiterated lately just how much I love my stove? Because I love it quite a bit. And I did something for the first time today. I am making this soup out of a bean mix that Steve got from his boss for Christmas, that's put together by one of the local service organizations. And it's got, I put ham hock in it too, but it had this like bean mix, and put it in my gigantic cast iron pot. And because of my awesome stove, I was able to use my front power burner to heat up the pan like really quick to get everything boiling. Then I moved it to the back, and it's on my simmer burner, just bubbling away, happy as can be, without losing all of its yummy goodness. So now I'm gonna add some like carrots and onion and tomato to it, and some herbs, and we'll have a tasty soup for dinner here in just a bit. Today I did a bit of moving around of things. I apologize if you can hear the dishwasher. It's probably quite loud, but hey, it means the dishes are getting washed. I moved some things around upstairs, starting to clean and organize the craft room a little, just so I can move some things around. Soon, I'd like to move that table up in the hallway upstairs. So I need to move some things to be able to make that happen. The first thing was moving the tansu from our hallway into my bedroom. And a tansu, it's like an antique piece of Japanese furniture I got from my aunt. Her husband had been stationed in Japan in the Navy, and when they lived there, they bought an antique tansu. They moved it with them when they moved back to the mainland, and they lived in California. And then when they moved to Hawaii, she gave it to my mom to go to me. So then when I moved out, tansu came with me, and it's been in every home that Steve and I have had of our own. So that's that, but now the tansu is safely in our bedroom. It actually looks quite nice. I would show you, but you know, Steve's sleeping. And now I've been working a bit on my happy scrappy blanket and organizing some things, going through all of my chicken scratch patterns to try and figure out what's what and where I'm at on things. And now I'm going to do a bit more. I'm going to go throw the veggies in there to cook, and then I'm going to go do a little bit of organization upstairs. That's the plan. I think it's a good plan. Hope it's a good plan. We'll see. Another beautiful Kansas evening. Another batch of laundry that didn't get finished up before Steve had to go to sleep. I think I just got my skirt stuck in the door again. That happens to me more than I'd like to admit. So now I'm just going to grab these things. Ooh, I can show you this. So this is a quilt. My mom made 2 of these. They go on a couple of the kids' beds. They're stack and whack quilts. So the like pinwheely things in the center are all one piece of fabric, and then there's like a way that you cut them out, and so each block ends up a little different. This pattern, it just kind of looks colorful, but some of the fabrics she's done it with make really interesting and super intricate, different looking, like kaleidoscope looking things, like this one. You see how you get the little like circly bits? So that's always fun. And this is a bath mat that I made this summer. I got a bunch of cotton yarn on clearance at Walmart, and so I just took, when I make bath mats and you have to use your yarn held double, I pull from the inside and outside of the ball, so I just use one ball at a time because it makes yarn management a little easier for me. Also, when I have to frog, things don't get as messed up. So I just took and I did the one ball at a time of the variegated, and then like the coral color and the variegated coral. Variegated, which they did end up slightly different sizes. I assume in part from, you know how your tension just doesn't stay the same. And also, I've come to the conclusion that cotton yarn, while it's close, seems to be more inconsistent in the amount that's in a skein than some of the other yarns. Does anybody else have that problem, or is that just me? I mean, it's not like by a huge margin, but the thing is, with like dishcloth cotton, you don't need a lot to make a dishcloth, or like to get, you know, just that little bit to get you that extra row. A few more stitches is not a whole lot of yarn. And so, you know, there's some balls that'll get you your full 2 washcloths or 3 or 4 whatevers, and then the next color or the next ball of the same color, same dye lot, whatever, just don't quite make it. Pretty. I have been working more on my blanket today. Let's see, here I am. Oh, now I'm rolling over my skirt. Apparently, me and this skirt are not getting along. And the fact that it's really super cute, and I like it. And it goes nice with my pink shirt, if I do say so myself, which I do. So, here is, let's see, I'm going to fold it in quarters so you can see all of it. And I posted on Instagram, but here is what the first, and I decided I'm going to call it my scrap stash blanket because it's made out of my scrap stash, you know, little scraps I've been stashing forever. So there's the first stripe, and I'm onto the second strip here, and I'm having that thing that like sock knitters say they have happen, where it's like just one more row, just one more row. It's like just one more piece, just one more piece. And because I'm like starting the yarn one after the other, I'm, you know, finishing one stitch with the color and doing the yarn changes that way, and then I'm crocheting my ends in. It's like I just keep, you know, even when I end, I try and end by having connected another ball of yarn. It's like, oh, well, maybe I'll see how far this one goes. Oh, let's just see how far that one goes. It's addictive. So it's fun. Hopefully that's good that it seems to be so addictive right now. Maybe it means I'll actually finish the project, which I'd like both the process and I think I'm going to like the product. I'd like to have this blanket. A bunch of the yarns are exciting because I remember the projects they came out of. Because the cool thing about this is all of this yarn is leftovers of things that I've made. Now the things that I've made have not all necessarily been like special or meaningful. A lot of them are just, I don't know, things. But some of them are special and meaningful, and some of them are just kind of fun to play with again. So working on that. And then I'm going to do some more pattern writing tonight. And I think I might film a tutorial if I have enough battery left on my camera once the kids go to bed. So, seems to be a productive day. The soup turned out really, really delicious. So, that was a good thing because you just never know when you get like those mixes how they're going to be. And there's just no seasoning in it, which was actually perfect because it meant that it couldn't taste gross. It just tasted like beans. And then I added all the good things. So, yep. Now to go put children to bed. So it's about 3:45 and I am just about to head to bed. I got a lot done tonight. I got 2 patterns fully like written and formatted. I just need to add the pictures, and I fell down the TED Talk rabbit hole. Thankfully, I was able to continue to work while listening to TED Talks, and I watched some really good ones tonight. Then I worked a bit more on my blanket. Got a little bit more scrappiness going. And I know I got in some comments that people hadn't caught exactly like the dimensions and stuff. So I will just tell you real quick what I'm doing. I'm using a G-hook. And this is all worsted weight yarn. I started with a foundation single crochet row of 20. And then I'm half double crocheting everything else. I started with the foundation row of single crochet because that way I can tell the difference between the sides, and I haven't quite decided yet if I'm going to want to run those all along one edge so everything runs the same direction, or if I'm going to want to alternate so that my lines of stitching don't match up like exactly. They'll be just slightly offset. We'll see how it all shakes out, but it just helps me to delineate the start from the end, especially because I plan to weave in my ends as I go. Anyways, I also remembered that today is Sunday. What does that mean? It means it's time to discuss our squeaky wheels. And look, I even remembered on Sunday. Okay, so it's like, you know, partially into Monday already, but it's still my Sunday because I haven't gone to sleep yet. Anyways, I had planned to focus on balance this week as far as my squeaky wheels and my goal setting goes. And I think I did a pretty good job, as well as I could, because, you know, my week got a little derailed emotionally, but I am doing better and I balanced my way through that as well. I think And this coming week, I'm kind of going to focus on balance again because I found that a very useful thing to mentally focus on. So as far as balancing, I'd like to balance my health. So making sure that I'm like drinking water and maybe try to do some more exercising. Like, let's say exercising 3 times this week, because that'd be a good way to kind of ease my way back in. And I would like to balance doing some school with all the kids. And on that note, I would like to read 4 books from our random book stack. Again, every day this week, because that worked out so well in previous weeks when I've done it. And I'd like to hang out with Steve more intentionally, which we're still working out this new time schedule. I think it is actually working out much better. I am definitely way less groggy in the morning and way more productive at night, and I don't have to feel guilty about the work that I'm getting done, so that is good. I actually watched an interesting TED Talk. I forget who it was with, but they were talking about procrastinators. Hello, procrastinator. And it was talking about how the one and only motivator for procrastinators is panic, and the panic caused by deadlines. And what do you do when there are things that have no deadline? Because you never panic, so you never do it. And that was an interesting talk. I will probably have to listen to that one a few more times to fully, absorb what's going on there. So I think that's kind of it. Oh, and also I'd like to try and do something fun every day this week. Steve has days off coming up, and Valentine's Day is going to happen, and I have some things with that I always like to do, and some school things that are kind of fun that I want to do in association with that. So just something fun every day this week. So let's see. So that's, I need to drink water. I need to exercise 3 times. I need to do school with all 3 kids, including 4 books every day from our random assortment. I need to do something fun every day. I need to hang out with Steve with intention every day. And I think that's about it. And then as far as just balancing everything else, just trying to find a balance between the work that I need to get done and the fun things personally that I'd like to do, crafty, video, and otherwise. I need to take a little time to do some things that are purely for me, for no purpose other than that I enjoy them. Like, I have some books I want to read. I started reading Looking for Alaska, but I haven't been giving it my full effort. But I need to do that because it's good for the kids to see me reading and see me reading things that are not on a screen. I also pulled down my copy of 3 Gothic novels, which includes, where'd it go? Steve and I took a class, a Gothic literature class, actually, at our community college when we were living at the resort. And if I could find the cover, that's what it is. Boom, Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus. So Jen, the uncreative crafter, has begun to read this at my recommendation, and she was kind of having the same feelings toward it that I remember having when I read it before, and Steve and I were kind of discussing it. I was like, hey, I should really pull that out and at least like look at it again, because I had completely forgotten that it's written as a series of letters. But then Steve and I were kind of discussing that, and suddenly I remembered more things about it. But I wonder if the book would make more sense upon a second reading. So I'd like to read a little bit of that, just for funsies, because sometimes you got to do things just for funsies. And right now I'm going to go to bed. Again, with the squeaky wheels this week, we're just going to work on balancing things, balancing all the things that I want to do, doing none of the things that I should do unless I want to do them, and trying to stay on the sleep schedule because it's working for me. I think it is working very well, and it seems to be working for everybody else in our family too. So I think we're gonna go with it, at least for the time being. And with that in mind, I will see you tomorrow. Nighty night.